Please be advised this podcast is all nonsense. Nothing you hear or see while adventuring with the worm should be taken seriously, or more importantly, fact-checked. Try not to let the mispronunciations distract you from the knowledge being shared. You're just riding with two worms trying to have a good time.
Fresh and clean. Fresh and clean!
Who's your favourite scientist?
Fictional or non-fictional?
Both. Why don't you can choose one of each?
I thought they had to meet both those criteria. They have to be a fictional or non-fictional scientist.
I mean, if you can find one, yeah.
Fictional would be...
Who would have been your fictional and non-fictional?
I'm telling you now, you won't let me answer.
No, as in you said meeting both criteria.
Oh, meeting both criteria.
Because I wouldn't have been able to answer that. Because I don't know any of those. One's in the loophole.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it?
It is hard.
It's hard for them to be both fictional and non-fictional.
Yeah, I always found this quite difficult for them.
I think you'd need to find somebody who exists, but then achievements have been over-exaggerated. So they're a real person, but they're...
have almost non-fictional achievements. Yeah. Oh, that's smart, that is. That's what you get. The brains. That's you get to eat brains.
That's why I get to eat brains. That's the Baron von something. Who was that? Oh, what is it? I don't know, it doesn't matter. There's a film. There's a film and there's an old guy. And yeah, all his stories are over-exaggerated.
I don't think I know. I'll probably...
It's an old film. Old film.
How about non-fictional?
Non-fictional scientist. The Pope.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess there is a kind of science around there.
Yeah.
I'd say my non-fictional is Dexter, from Dexter's Laboratory.
Okay. I thought you meant from the other Dexter.
The other killing Dexter.
Yeah, the killing Dexter.
Oh, actually... Oh, maybe. I don't know. Now you got me thinking, because I do actually like that Dexter.
Yeah.
I've always thought... Not that... I don't know if there is actually a thing as a blood spatter expert.
Oh no, there definitely is. There definitely is.
Yeah, but I don't think they just work in random police departments. It's probably more like for FBI and stuff, or they're specialists. I don't think they just. I don't think every police department has a blood spatter.
No, I don't think I don't think that
everybody has a Dexter.
My police high street will have a blood splatter. I'll have to go in, go to the reception desk, and can I speak to you, blood splatter expert?
No, how about your yo-yo crimes department? Because if they're going to have a blood splatter one, they'll definitely have a yo-yo crimes. Because don't forget, yo-yos were massive in like sort of the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Was it early 2000s?
Well, I think yo-yos is one of those trends that circle around. I think like everything. Because I think yo-yos were big in the early 2000s, but I think they were probably big before then as well.
You know why? It must take so long to go through yo-yo university.
Yeah.
So what happens is the crime starts to build up while these people are educating themselves on, you know, yo-yo
dynamics,
yo-yo science,
yo-yo science,
and then yo-yo dynamics. I like that one better, actually. I mean, they probably do both, don't they? But yo-yo dynamics, and because you'd have to do yo-yo physics and yo-yo chemistry. Probably wouldn't need to do yo-yo biology. Oh, actually,
you might do.
Yeah.
But
this is probably why it takes so long.
The hybrid yo-yos.
You have to do all the yo-yo. Hybrid yo-yos. Yeah, and then yo-yo crime gets to its peak. These people graduate, come out, do some top-tier yo-yo crime investigation.
Actually, I thought they were the ones making the yo-yos, and then that obviously made an increase in crime because the new fancy yo-yos are out.
Well, who's making? What do you mean?
The people who have graduated yo-yo university.
Oh, do you think they're the ones behind the crime?
No, that's what you were implying. I thought you were saying they graduated and then
I mean, that's
took to a life of crime.
Spent all my time at university. I need to pay this money back.
Exactly.
Well, actually, it depends where that yo-yo university is.
And how expensive it is.
University, was it like... So, like, for medicine in America, it's like $40,000 a year or something like that.
It would make sense they use dollars, yeah.
And then in the UK, it's like...
Pounds.
Yeah, but isn't it like £12,000 a year now for 6 years? Actually, that means it must be more than 40,000. It's about 80,000.
Either that or it's cheap to become a doctor in the States. That's why they charge so much for everything.
Yeah, but you can get student loans here. You can't get that over there.
No, they do.
They do scholarship programs.
Yeah, they don't do any sort of finance.
You've got to be good at something to do that.
Yeah, that's why they all do
I'm
sports.
real good at yo-yos.
Ooh, the yo-yo scholarship scheme.
Well, I think if you were going to do yo-yo studies, they would probably let you go in on the yo-yo scholarship. Whereas if you were going to do... Oh, actually, no, because they let you go on sports scholarships sometimes, don't they? Even if you're going to be doing a different thing.
Yeah.
Scholarship is just to pay for your time there.
Yeah, just...
But actually what they want is they want you for your body.
They do want you for your body.
Which is kind of weird, because that is actually what they're doing. We'll take your body, but we'll let you learn English. That's it. Studying English. Can have a backup plan when their bodies fail. If their bodies fail. Some of these people are bionic. I'm convinced they're bionic. No one can go into university on a basketball scholarship and still graduate in
Rhythm mathematics.
rhythm mathematics, which actually is quite difficult because it's constantly changing.
It is constantly changing.
So if you do your measurement one day and it's like, oh, don't worry, I'll finish off my paper tomorrow. You can't.
Can't. The rhythm's changed, yeah.
You've got to do it in one sitting. And if you accidentally screw up and choose a really difficult river, like the Nile, a bit long. Yeah, didn't think about this. You need to go for small rivers. Amazon's hard as well because it's too wide. I think, what's an easy river to do river mathematics with? I'm also assuming they wouldn't let you just choose really small ones. Because it wouldn't be a university degree then, would it?
No, that'd be like college, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, college is. Oh, in America. Oh, you mean UK college?
I suppose college for Americans is high school.
Yeah, I assume so, because...
But America does have universities as well.
Yeah, but I think that's when they were first founded. Actually, no, aren't they all called... No, because it's called Harvard University, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you reckon the older ones are universities?
I reckon...
So university was a British term, wasn't it?
I reckon just... all the others are just colleges and they're just all real shit. That's why they want to go to Harvard, because it's the only university. Otherwise, they're just doing another college course.
Well, Yale's a university.
Yeah.
I want to go to that one.
Yeah, that's because they're the only universities. Otherwise, they're just...
Nah, there's one more.
Which one? Stanford. No, Stanford's... No, Stanford University,
Stanford University. Actually, there was probably a handful.
Depends how big your hands are. If you're using baby hands, you've already got a handful.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think there are adult human-sized
handful of universities.
I had to specify both adult and human.
Yeah,
because if you say space worm-sized hand, they're not very big at all.
Non-existent almost.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we wear bum bags.
Carry on my charcoal. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to choose a small river. I'd probably choose a river of somewhere I'd like to visit as well.
Where's Moon River?
Moon, obviously.
That makes sense.
Not Earth Moon, though.
Oh.
I don't know which moon. It might be one of the 11 Jupiter moons. Jupiter's got 11 moons, hasn't it? It's got more than one. Less than 1 million.
It has got a few.
So it's like 11. I don't know why that number sticks out. But it could be one of those, and you might be looking for a while. It might not even be...
A river?
They didn't say it was a water river.
They didn't.
It could be a river of...
Blood.
Yeah. Well, it might not even be a liquid. What defines a river?
I suppose it's a body of water that connects to the ocean. Must be.
Oh, yeah. I guess it all depends on what an ocean is on moons. Yeah. Because it could just be a valley of skulls.
Attached
because an ocean could be an ocean of skulls.
That sounds hardcore.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to do the moon river. You're going to get your iron helmet, protect yourself. Because they can't get through the iron. Otherwise they get to your skull and you're going to be one of the Moon River participants. Yeah, so I think Dexter. Now I'm thinking the blood spatter Dexter. And
he'd be good on Moon River, wouldn't he? He'd love it there.
Well, actually, he'd probably be better on Blood River because he loves blood. Moon River's...
I thought Moon River was blood.
But we don't know. That's what you said.
Okay,
if it's a blood river, yeah?
Yeah, we don't know.
Or any blood river. And a real life scientist.
Yeah.
There's too many geniuses out there.
Oh, I was going to say there's not enough. I don't think the pool is interesting enough.
Oh. Yeah, probably that as well. I was probably just being polite.
There's no standout one, like, they're all alright, but there's not one I'd pick.
Yeah, no one's just kind of enticed me.
Yeah.
I'd love to just go to a full-on science lecture, and they all just sit there and tell me about their sciences, and the one person I sit there and go, wow, that was super interesting. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I go to science lectures, I sit there and eat my grapes and get real bored.
The old grape lectures.
Ooh. I reckon, is there like a wine scientist? Alcohol scientist?
Yeah, there probably is. What do they call those people who are experts? They're literally just called masters of wine or something. There's only like a handful of them, isn't there?
Oh, do you mean the ones that work in the restaurants?
No.
So
that's
it's
like
sommeliers.
no. So it's like this club of like wine people where it's like a master of wine or something.
I think they're just called distillers, aren't they, or something like that?
No. It's like an actual thing, and there's only
okay, because you get them for beer as well, and they're just called like distillers. Master of wine.
There you go. Yeah. High standard of professional knowledge. There you go. There's like in the UK. Oh, there's more than I thought. There's 208 in the UK, 45 in the US, 24 in Australia, 16 in French.
MW's my
just
way.
Master of Wine.
Master of, oh.
It's like the highest standard of wine mastery.
Before enrolling in the Master of Wine Study Programme, prospective students must hold an advanced wine qualification, at least diploma-like level of Wine Spirit Education Trust, or an appropriate high-level sommelier certificate.
The 3 years of professional work experience in the global wine community, basic essay, tasting paper, and a brief statement explaining their interest in becoming a master of wine.
Did you know how much some sommeliers earn in these fancy restaurants?
£17.
Close. They do earn £17, but they very quickly surpass that.
Okay.
And they move past £17.
I'm glad they at least get to that though.
Oh yeah, they'll probably get to that within
worried.
the first hour.
Okay, that's fair enough then.
They can earn up to like 60, 70k, you know.
I'm not surprised.
Just for pouring bottles of wine, telling people, it's white wine.
Yeah, but in like the fancy restaurants,
yeah,
they don't want to. They ask you to choose the letters you get in your alphabet spaghetti as well.
They do. They specialise in just the letter.
Just the letters.
A lot of the time, if you don't specialise, they find out what your first name is through security hacking, and then they just give you a bowl of your first letter of your name.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why I always use a code name when I book my fancy restaurants. Book myself as Pinocchio.
I'd be quite angry if I had the alphabet spaghetti and I just got all the same letter.
I think it's because you like a mixture, but some people like
just like the one letter,
like the excitement of. Also, these people are drinking wine, so they'll see one and go, "Oh my god, I've just found the letter W or J." And you go, "Oh, I found another J. I found another J." And then what they didn't realise, the whole bowl was J's. They're just too drunk to realise.
Imagine
I like spelling. Yeah, go on.
One very large alphabet spaghetti letter.
See, I wouldn't like that.
I think I'd like it, but I think it'd be really grim, like a big old W.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is the sauce to pasta ratio.
Yeah.
So when you slice into it, it's going to be so dense in the middle. It's going to just be like some weird thick dough, isn't it?
It is.
Uncooked dough. Super saucy on the outside and even maybe slightly absorbent.
I think it'd be really cold as well.
Yeah, I think the problem is it'll be cooked properly on the outside, but cold on the middle. Or cooked properly on the middle, but totally destroyed on the outside. You know when you overcook alphabet spaghetti?
Yeah.
And the sauce starts to like curdle and sticks it.
Goes to
but imagine that on the whole W just stick on like almost like you could just pick it up and walk off and put it in your handbag.
Yeah.
So I think
I wish they'd take that off the menu.
Handbag spaghetti.
Handbag spaghetti.
Especially when it's that big, because you have to take a really big handbag in. So can I just not have plate spaghetti? Normal alphabet plate spaghetti?
Well, you can't because then it wouldn't be a fancy restaurant.
This is it.
Yeah. They have to do the oversized spaghetti.
Well, they don't just oversized. They have to put a novelty on it, don't they? It's like when they come out and put food down, they always put it down all at the same time. So if you've got 3 people at the table, you'll have 3 servers bringing out your food.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? So you got 3 W's sitting at the table, you'd be like a website. www. Oh,
I think
man.
that's how the internet was created.
3 people.
Ordered the handbag spaghetti and they got all W's.
But they all had to be 3 people who had the name beginning with a W.
Well, no, because they might have only had W's or something. Maybe they only had a W mould
back in
for
the day.
the big spaghetti.
Or maybe one of them was an M.
Yeah, and they didn't have,
Accidentally flipped it.
or a bad Z.
That'd have to be a really
Man, the guy who made it wasn't very good.
maybe like an extra. Yeah, that'd have to be pretty bad. Or maybe like 2 N's in the bowl by accident. But yeah, I think one of them must have been an M, because it would have been too much of a coincidence. No 3 people with the name beginning with W know each other. That's like a world-ending event. One of them must have been a Malcolm.
Yeah. William
Malcolm.
Wilbucks.
Wilbucks. Well, he didn't often turn up to stuff, did he? One time he does. Malcolm's name gets completely confused. I thought it was Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome, Malcolm.
Welcome, Malcolm.
There we go. Good times. Oh, yeah. Someone's who's a scientist of spaghetti, then I guess is probably the person I want to know.
Yeah.
It was going to be a distiller or a master of wine, but I think I want to know this person.
The spaghetti master is.
Yeah. Whoever created pasta, must be a scientist.
Yeah, like a food scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you think, like, how do these things get made? Because who just put the egg, the flour, mixed it together and boiled it?
Yeah, you...
Like bread, like who put...
Yeah. At some point, someone very long ago
went, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go.
But then they also thought, oh, let's put it on heat. Bearing in mind, if you think what the texture of dough is, it's a big old floofy gloop. No one must... Who thought, oh, let me put it on a hot rock?
Well, also like omelette. Like, it's just a goopy egg. Who thought, do you know what? I bet if I cook this, it's going to go like fluffy. 'Cause it's just liquid.
Yeah, also, who thought, oh, let me crack it open, mix it all up
Yeah,
first,
whisk it up.
and then cook it?
Madmen. Want to meet these boys?
I reckon it. So if I had to go for the evolution of the cooked egg, I'm going to assume it was eaten raw first.
Whole.
Someone with the shell.
Swallowed whole.
No, I reckon they cracked it in the mouth.
No, I reckon they sucked it like what's the
Coconuts.
yeah, like
With a
coconuts.
little hole in the top.
No, just plain hole.
Oh, the whole thing.
Suck
Okay,
it.
okay. See,
Is that how you eat a coconut?
I can't get it down my mouth hole.
You wait for the chocolate to dissolve on the outside.
Yeah, but then it would just end up being like what I said, where you get a hole in it.
True.
If you wait for the chocolate to dissolve, you're not eating the whole coconut, are you? You're melting it.
You're still eating it.
Yeah, you said swallow it whole.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to swallow
You wanna
it.
be- you wanna-
That's
yeah.
madness. Die.
You'd have to shave coconut first. Because you get hairy throat. Yeah, I think it would be someone just full egg, swallowed it whole maybe. Then someone thought, well, I'm going to take a bite of this. Then they had shell and egg. Then someone said, oh, I don't like the shell. It's a bit crunchy. I reckon someone cracked it, had it raw.
Yeah.
Then at some point, I reckon it was either boiled whole or cracked. I reckon boiled whole.
I reckon it was cracked and cooked because I reckon it's easier to accidentally crack and cook an egg than it is to decide to boil one.
Yeah, I also actually you make a point because there's also a level of if you don't get it the boiling right, you just crack the egg in there anyway, and you get like some weird
exactly
half boiled egg. Yeah, maybe cracked, cooked, then boiled. See, then you get to the fancy stuff. Who then thought, oh, I'm going to crack it, but in boiling water?
Oh yeah,
Who
exactly.
went, oh, you know what? I'm going to do this into this. Well, the best of both worlds. I want a boiled open egg.
Who do you think made the first ever oven? So obviously things were cooked over fire, which is like grilling it. I guess.
You mean like
an actual,
like a box of heat?
like a box of heat? Yes, and that encapsulates the heat inside it and cooks.
Oh, I
like
think
that.
that's probably quite a while ago because they used to that thing where they used to get stones. So they'd to get, for example, dough, they'd wrap it in leaves, and then they get loads of hot rocks, and that would, I guess, would be classed as an oven, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess it would be.
If you're going to go conventional oven, as in who went, then how do we do that indoors? Nah, he was too busy looking at the internet. But the thing is, that's it. I think, actually, the transition's not that far, if you think about it. Someone just went, okay, well, how can I change this from rocks, but just a box of heat?
What do you think the first thing ever brought on the internet was?
The first W.
Ooh.
Of www.
Okay, no, so once the internet was established,
Okay.
what?
So a physical item delivered to someone.
The first person to ever sell a physical item on the internet, what do you think it was?
Do you know?
No, I don't.
No.
I'm curious what you think it is.
I reckon it'd be something really trivial because someone wanted to test if they could send
I reckon
something.
it was a Sky Electrics.
Really?
Yeah.
I always think it's more like a pen. So
Okay.
something really boring. I'd like to think it's something more interesting. Like a parachute. But used. So it doesn't go back into the thing.
You can repack a parachute.
Yeah, but I'm saying this was like snapped or something.
Yeah, but surely if you buy a used parachute, you can only assume it worked because there's somebody to sell it. Unless they found it on a field, then it's a whole different story.
Oh, it's attached to the
You
skeleton bones.
you need to ask them, was this your parachute or did you just find this out in the field somewhere?
Maybe they found it in that skull river.
Or that, ooh, a parachute?
attached to a skull.
I'll sell this.
It's clearly not any of this stuff down here.
I think you gotta be very cautious when you buy a used parachute.
That hasn't been repacked more than anything. Or, no, a used, damaged. Because if it's used and just not repacked, that could just be people being lazy. But if it's damaged, obviously it's broken at some point. Also, if you're buying a damaged one, you've got to be careful that you read the fine print. If you just think you're going to repack it and jump out of a plane, is that on you? Or is it the person you bought it from?
How do you test a parachute? Do you just jump at a low height? See?
I think you just pay someone you don't really care about.
Because there's
to come along with you.
there's like a dispatch distance of a parachute. It takes a while, doesn't it? Like, isn't it like 150 feet or some
Yeah,
nonsense?
you have to be like quite high up
for it actually
Yeah.
to work. So
Because you also have to give yourself enough time for your what's it called? Yeah, backup parachute in case. So you pull your first one. Obviously, if that tangles anything.
look, man, if that goes, I don't think I've got the nerve to be waiting for the backup parachute. I forget that point. I'm like, oh no, my parachute! I needed that.
Let me climb back up there and untangle it. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you've got a point there. Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about.
First internet item sold.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's something like a used parachute. Or something. Or just something. I reckon it's going to be boring like a pen. But I'd like to think it's something interesting.
Nah, see, I reckon it'd be something niche.
Find out.
No one's going to know what the first item sold on the internet was.
Yeah, they will. But you're raving about it when it was sold.
Okay, so it's the first item sold on eBay, but that's going to be first legitimate sale goes to Dan Cohn? I don't know. Creating a website called Net Market. Sold a CD of Sting's Summoner's Tale to a friend in Philadelphia. Obviously, weren't that good of a friend. Yo, do you want to buy my CD? I got it on the internet.
Yeah, it's trivial.
Yeah.
It's no used parachute.
Ooh. Also mentions a 1984 sale where a 72-year-old Jane Snowball utilised a device called a videotex to use her television to order margarine, eggs and cornflakes. That's pretty impressive.
Whoa, that's smart, that is. And she's 72-year-old.
But the lack of electronic... Because obviously it was still paid, like, in cash when they accepted the hand delivery. But I mean, I think that still qualifies.
Yeah, I think
it's just
we
the
were
lack
talking
of
about
electronic transaction.
We were talking about the actual... the interaction of the sale as opposed to the actual...
But it looks like that the CD is considered the first full...
I'm going for that. Old lady's done it. 70-year-old Jane Snow utilising a device called videotex. That's amazing.
I want to see what a videotex is now. I bet it. Do you know what I bet as well? I bet it took hours to order these 3 items.
Oh, so it's like a typewriter.
It's like old school telefax.
Yes.
For you young'uns out there who don't know what telefax is.
Yeah, look, it's literally there.
Teletext.
Yeah, it was the same thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, oh, madness.
Wow, that's cool.
That's quite smart for a 72-year-old woman. I'm not saying they're not smart, but I'm just saying, as in old people, not women. Oh, man. Let me just make sure everybody's very clear there. I meant, that's just quite smart for a 72-year-old person.
Woman, you still said, look, man, that woman managed to do that thing. I'm shocked.
She just happened to be a woman, but she was 72. My emphasis was on
She's
the age.
old and a woman.
You know what? Let's just cut this right here before this gets out of hand. Let's go straight to a question.
Okay.
I think it's safer if we go to a question. You lovely old women out there, stay listening.
But you're dumb, yo.
And stay sharp. That's not me. That's coming from this lumping over here.
Right. Question time. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Okay, I think the definition of sandwich is something between two pieces of bread.
Yeah, I think it is. I'd agree with that. But then why is it not called just a sausage? Because what's a sausage sandwich compared to a hot dog?
There's a split between the actual bread. With a hot dog, it's still attached on both sides. Yeah,
it's a combined.
It's almost like a, yeah.
So I suppose, would you consider a baguette a sandwich?
If it's sliced all the way through.
So you think the defining point between whether it's a sandwich or a mystery item?
I think that's why when you tend to order a baguette, you wouldn't say, you'd say, I want a sandwich. They would know you're talking about two pieces of bread on a loaf. You wouldn't go in and say, oh, can I have a sandwich? And they go, oh, do you want that as a baguette? They would assume you want. Or they would say, oh, do you want that as a sandwich or a baguette? I think the baguette classifies as its own.
So I think...
Which is quite interesting, actually, because why does the hot dog... Because I guess because the hot dog has... That is interesting. So, a baguette is the bread itself.
Yes, exactly that.
So why is a hot dog not defined by the bread first? So a sausage and then whatever the roll would be called?
Sausage roll, because that's already taken.
But
they tried marketing it
you
as
would
a
call it
sausage roll.
a sausage baguette or a cheese and ham baguette or whatever you want it, and then the baguette. A sandwich would be whatever you want, and then a sandwich, because the sandwich is...
What is the term for a long bread? Is it just a bread rolls, the round ones? That's a bread roll, isn't it?
Aren't they called like bread fingers or something weird?
So
maybe someone just doesn't like the term. They're like, man, we got to change. Just call it hot dog, yeah.
It is interesting that. But then I suppose a burger has its own name. Because a burger is just a beef sandwich. And that's called a burger. Why do these items have their own identifier? Or do you think it happened when they made it? They went, this is a sausage sandwich, but it identifies as a hot dog.
Unless the roll was made around the time they made the burger. So it identified as one piece, but now people use the roll for other stuff. Whereas a baguette was actually just a French piece of bread, wasn't it? Then people started making a sandwich out of it.
But then, yeah, I suppose...
Maybe the roll didn't come straight away.
I suppose, yeah, when you say if you want a ham baguette, you're having a baguette and then you're adding something to it. So you've got the baguette with ham, so it's a ham baguette.
Yeah.
So
it's still like that. The burger and the hot dog are just... You don't go burger roll. You don't go hot dog finger. A sausage finger. A sausage and a bread finger.
See, I don't think I'm sold on the sandwich being defined by it being two individual units.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of possible exceptions where... Because, maybe there are no sandwiches that don't have the vital sphincter severed.
That's an interesting way to phrase that.
Is that not what it's called? I thought that connecting join of bread was called that.
Actually, okay, burger then.
Yeah.
Like you said, a burger's an exception to the rule because it's two pieces of bread,
but not
it's
always.
On a roll.
Because if you would make your own burger at home, sometimes I get quite lazy and I don't cut the bun all the way through.
But it's still called a burger. Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
I don't call it something else. I don't call it a schluberbuben.
I wish you did. There'd be more clarity around what we're eating. I don't know if I'm having proper burgers or lazy boy burgers. So if you bought your own loaf of bread and you sliced it right down to the bottom, but not actually splitting it,
if you didn't sever the spinal, the vital sphincter.
I see. I would have called it the vital spinal sphincter because it's almost like the spine of the sandwich.
But they don't have a backbone.
But that is the backbone.
They're invertebrates. Bread is famous for being an invertebrate.
Very often I don't find bones in my bread.
Exactly.
Though doesn't the giant in Jack and the Beanstalk, and he grinds his bones to make his bread or something like that?
Yeah, because he makes flour.
Yeah, but then he would have
bones.
So giants can have spines in their bread. Physical spines.
Unless he's picky about the bones he grinds. He never really states.
Yeah. I also think, depending on the size of this giant, it'd be very hard for them to pick out specific bones.
Maybe they goes to Moon River.
Yeah, but then he'd just scoop up a bunch of skulls, wouldn't he?
That's maybe what that's what he's into.
I wonder if certain bones taste nicer than other bones, because some bones have marrow in, don't they?
Yeah, I was going to say, I reckon the spine's one of the best tasting bones. It's got all the juices in.
It's got all the jellies around
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
The whole spinal jellies.
Then I reckon the leg bones.
You're the femur.
Well, no, just not just the femur, all the leg bones.
Really? I'd say the femur first. I reckon it's got a good juicy bit of marrow in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely go for it over like some arthritic toe bones.
I reckon like ribs are pretty dry.
Also, they're fun to play. So while you're waiting for, while you're crushing the other bones, you
Yeah, the
have a little
entertainment bones. Yeah.
Tepper. Yeah, so hot dog.
Oh yeah.
I just realised we're never going to be able to do this, and we're talking about both because we're not giants.
We can be giants.
Yeah, but we'd still be giant worms. We still can't crush bones with our non-hands. We can slam our faces into bones.
Do you reckon those party games when you strap a balloon to somebody and have to squish together to pop it?
Yeah.
We could do that with bones.
And just run at each other real fast.
Well, I just think we could just roll. Like rollers.
Ooh, if we push each other down the hill.
Yeah.
That's not bad idea. I was thinking more that you wanted to strap bones between us and just run at each other real fast.
That's a different game. That's skeletal jousting.
I'd definitely choose a femur for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's something about a sandwich and 2 slices of bread.
What about sandwiches with 3 slices of bread?
Again, still separated, aren't they? You wouldn't use 3 rolls and then call it a sandwich now.
I know. I'm trying to think of examples with sandwiches that are called sandwiches and they're not severed, but I can't think of any.
I found you a beautiful exception to the rule.
Oh, go on.
McDonald's.
About them.
They call theirs sandwiches, don't they? They call their burgers and stuff. It's not. It's like a chicken sandwich.
Well, do you know what? That's not even McDonald's. In all fairness, I think a lot of places refer to things like that as chicken sandwiches, but then they're severed.
Yeah, but it's in a bun, isn't it, rather than bread?
Yeah, but it's still severed. So does that mean is that why it's a sandwich? Because then that's still.
And so maybe burgers are actually a type of sandwich.
Yeah, and
They
then
just shortened it because it became such a popular type of sandwich.
Yeah. Well, they're called hamburgers originally, weren't they? Wasn't that like?
Well, the burger was called a hamburger.
Yeah.
But obviously, maybe going, can I have a hamburger sandwich? Was just like, that's really long.
So do you think?
Can I have a cheese hamburger sandwich?
Do you think? Yeah. They
dropped
the
sandwich.
burger has devolved in the same way as baguette has, where you call something a ham baguette and you're just referring to the bread part, whereas with a burger, you call it a burger, but you're just referring to its the meat section. But we all know it comes with the other bits and pieces.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that the baguettes devolved essentially, because you're still referring to just the bread when you say baguette. When you say burger, you're referring to the whole package. You're including the bread in that. Whereas with ham baguette, you're identifying.
Yeah, I suppose so. You are identifying a filling with that, aren't you? Whereas,
yeah.
well, yeah, but I suppose
yes, I do think that. Yeah, again, but that's devolved, isn't it? Because you still you're not including the bread, excluding the bread or the sandwich part. I reckon it'd be a cheeseburger sandwich.
Have you ever had one of those hot dogs where they get a baguette and they like penetrate the centre of it and then slide the sausage in?
No, but I've seen it.
Yeah, they're good.
I was about to say I haven't, and I was like, no, I've just seen it on
Do you know where you used to sell those?
McDonald's.
Drayton Manor.
Really?
Yeah. Cool, you call them rollover hot dogs.
Man.
And now, do you know what annoying thing is? They still sell rollover hot dogs, but now they're just normal hot dogs. So why call them rollover hot dogs? Because they're not rolling over anymore.
So do they sell normal hot dogs as well?
No, so they still sell the rollover hot dogs, which would obviously suggest that the bread rolls over the entire hot dog. But they just
sell it as a normal hot dog.
They're just regular hot dogs, but they still call them rollover hot dogs.
No, I thought
so. Now people who go aren't getting the full rollover experience; they're getting missold the rollover experience.
I thought you meant the other way round. So it still looks like a rollover hot dog.
Oh, but they call them conventional. No. It's literally fraud now. They're selling them as rollover hot dogs, and you get handed a normal hot dog.
Yeah, but if they didn't patent the name, it's just misleading.
No, I think it was a trademark, though. I have a feeling it was.
If it was trademarked, then yeah, it is. It's false advertising. Let's bring down Drayton.
Check them out. Do you ever have a dinky donut?
Yeah, I've had them, yeah.
They're good, man.
That's random.
Because they're good.
They are good.
There used to be a little van on the high street by me who used to just sell them.
Yeah, because they were hot as well, which is the best
Oh,
part.
man.
You'd literally get them straight away. You stop. Like, I'm going to eat these while they're still hot. You didn't have to, but you needed to.
And there's a little section of like sauce with it.
Yeah. I didn't always need the sauce.
Yeah, but the sauce was good though.
Oh, it was
And
good,
what I
but-
used to do is while they're still hot, if you were the sauce to cool it down,
Yeah.
like just literally smother them with the sauce.
Yeah.
Like stick to my hand sauce, and then once there's no sauce left, I'd eat the remaining sauceless.
Well, actually, in Brazil, they do this thing called like, street popcorn.
Okay.
And
Is that when it's just on the road?
essentially, yeah. But there's loads of these vendors, and they'll just give you a cone of popcorn, and they put like a
Sand.
condensed milk,
Oh, okay.
like a sweet condensed milk.
It's almost like not a toffee, but not a caramel, but you know
It's like quite thick, yeah. And they just pour that on top, and then you just walk around with this hot, sticky bag of popcorn because it's Brazil and it's hot. And you're eating that, you got a real goopy hand, but then as you get to the bottom, it gets stickier and.
Yeah. I can imagine that's almost like toffee popcorn, but not as toffee popcorn has that annoying like crunch to it, but just softer, I reckon.
Well, actually, there's not that annoying crunch. There's the normal popcorn crunch because you're having it almost immediately, and because they only pop a small amount at a time.
Yeah.
So they put super fresh popcorn in, put this condensed milk on, and you literally start eating it straight away. So it's still popcorny crunchy, but you've got this sweetness.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It is
I'm on
good.
board.
I remember when I went, we had quite a few of them. He was like, we just finished one? Oh, should we just get another one? Because they were like at every corner. So you just get another one. It's amazing. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Yeah. I've done really well today. Kept us on point.
Yep.
But yeah, so I do think maybe, yes, you were correct. Burgers are a type of sandwich. They just dropped the sandwich part of it because they became synonymous as a burger.
Do you think it's the same case then? Because if you've got an unsevered roll, and then you get a hot dog sausage, a bratwurst, whatever, and you put it in there, it's a hot dog.
Yeah.
Then if someone gives you a Cumberland sausage,
Okay.
puts that in there, would you call that a hot dog? Because I wouldn't.
What would you call it?
I'd call it a sausage bap.
Ooh. See, I don't know if I'd still probably call it a hot dog because I'm referring to the style of presentation.
See, I don't know. I think it's the same as the burger situation, whereas you're referring to the unit.
The meat unit.
Yeah, the meat unit.
So you could essentially say, I don't know. I think there's still something around the severing of the bread. Because then you're saying you'd call it a sausage bap. Fair enough, but you wouldn't call it a sausage sandwich. But you'd call a sausage sandwich with 2 pieces of bread.
Okay, so if someone hands you a hot dog without the bread, what would you say you're eating?
Probably say I was eating a sausage.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd still say I was eating a hot dog.
But it's still pork and it's
Okay. So when you go to Asda,
Yeah.
what do they call those sausages in a tin or in a thing? They're just called hot dogs in a can.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I think it's using the same logic, whereas you're referring to the meat unit.
Which
Within
which
the-
then we'll say our other theory is correct, that the burgers just dropped the sandwich. So you're saying the
Yeah.
hot dog dropped the sandwich, but I don't think it dropped a sandwich. I think it dropped another word.
I think it dropped. Except the latest beats.
Bread finger dinner. Beats. Dropped a wrap. Yeah, I think the whole splitting of the bread is what you would refer to as a sandwich. A baguette is a type of whatever, but you're referring to the individual type of bread.
Okay, so imagine this scenario.
So I reckon
Go on, finish first.
that the role that the hot dog comes in used to be called something, and it was called a hot dog fluber, but they were like, should we just call it a hot dog, as in refer to the meat. So it's just a long lost name. But I do have another scenario for you as well.
Okay.
So first, shall I?
No, I'll go first. So imagine this situation. Right, you're
Imagining-
in Cuba.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What did I think you were going to say? Something like that. I don't know. I have a real connection with you. I got real close to you.
And you've ordered the beetroot sandwich. Don't know why. It's called out
It's
to
my
you.
least favourite sandwich.
It's
but okay.
called out to you on the menu, mainly because it was the only thing on the menu. You've gone to the Beetroot Sandwich Cafe.
Okay.
So you order the beetroot sandwich, as one does when at the Beetroot Sandwich Cafe. Yeah. And they bring out an unsevered roll with beetroot in.
Yeah.
Would you argue that that's not a beetroot sandwich?
I would personally say yes. I don't think that's classed as a sandwich, and you've got false advertising the same way roll over hot dogs got.
Okay, same situation, same place. You've ordered the same item,
Yeah.
and then they bring out a severed hot dog roll with beetroot in between.
Yeah.
Would you be angry at that?
No, but I wouldn't actually be angry at the other one. I would just say it's not identified correctly.
Okay.
Because I'm smart enough to know that essentially it's the same roll, and they probably just pulled the bread apart a little bit.
No, so I'm saying two different timelines. They didn't come back and hand it to you. This is two parallel timelines.
I still wouldn't complain at either.
So
because I would just be really upset with myself that I've gone in and ordered
the beetroot sandwich. No, I get that.
I was like, why have I gone to it? It even said it on the name. I could have just not walked in.
Even the people when you walked in told you you can only order beetroot sandwiches here. That's normally enough to turn people
It's
away.
like, look, don't think I didn't read the sign when I walked in. I know what I'm letting myself in for. What, it's beetroots? Oh man, should have read the sign properly. That's all beetroots. So, I was going to actually ask you a very exactly the same. I was going to say, imagine you have a hot dog bun.
Okay.
And you have your hot dog in it.
Yep.
And you know when they cut it almost to the bottom, but it's not quite split.
Yeah.
But it's weak.
I'm not going to lie, that's how I normally end up cutting.
yeah, essentially how you cut them. So it's like it's on the verge, and you got to pick it up.
Yeah, it's going to fall apart.
And it splits.
Like, it's that bad that the sauce is leaking out the bottom because there's little holes.
Yeah. And as soon as you pick it up, it splits.
I would be annoyed, but I would still say it's a hot dog.
Yeah, but are you referring to it as a hot dog sandwich? As in, what we're trying to say is we know it's a hot dog, we know the meat is hot dog. But are we now saying it's a sandwich because the bread's split? Or does it have to be predetermined split bread?
Maybe there's two qualifiers. Maybe the bread needs to be split and it needs to be stacked. Because if I have a sandwich and I put the things in the middle and squish them,
then you have the whole dropping situation.
I wouldn't call that a sandwich. But the second I flip it, now I would call that a sandwich.
So if you got a thingy roll and cut it down the side and put the sausage in, would you call that a sandwich?
I would call that a sandwich. I would actually call that a hot dog sandwich.
I think I would call it a sandwich.
I think I would call it a sandwich.
If it was cut that way, even though it would have the exact same ingredients, because everything is being propped up by
it's got a
singular
base.
piece of...
Yeah,
maybe then. I think for some reason when it goes on its side, it just has...
It's a whole different dimension.
Would you call it a hot dog sandwich then while it was flat?
Yeah, I would.
Then just call it a hot dog?
I would. If it had... I think then maybe that's the qualifier. It has a bread base.
I still think that the hot dog had something at the end. The same way the burger probably had a sandwich at the end and it got dropped. Because otherwise, if you're just referring to the meat, that bread has to be called something.
Yeah.
You can't go, have you got... because people call them hot dog buns, don't they?
Yeah, hot dog buns.
So would it be? So what is it originally called? Oh, can I have a hot dog
in a bun?
In a bun.
Now maybe it was just that hot dog in a bun. That's nonsensical. Because of course you want a hot dog in a bun. You don't just want a saucy sausage in your hand.
Well, you call a corn dog. It's maize around a hot dog.
Corn dog, yeah.
Yeah. So wouldn't it have been like a bun dog?
Maybe it was a bun dog.
Or a bun hot dog. A bunned hot dog.
Bunned hot dog, maybe that's what it was.
I like that, a bunned hot dog.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
So I reckon it was called something like. But as soon as you turn that sideways,
hot dog sandwich.
Hot dog sandwich.
Hot dog sandwich.
Yeah.
So are we ruling out the severing? Is that not a requirement?
Well, I think that's it. As soon as you have the bread sideways like that, you wouldn't have it wholly at the bottom because your bottoms would fall out. There always has to be something underneath.
Yeah.
But because that one is one article of bread with a base and sides implemented, just open top sandwiches, open top buns, I think that's where it is. Whereas with all the other ones, you essentially severed, haven't you?
Yeah, severed.
And they're stacked. I think severed and stacked, or at least stacked.
I think stacked is minimum. It has to be stacked for it to be considered a sandwich.
And then 99% of the situations severed. But if there's a, as you call it... I thought you wanted to say your favourite phrase. The old sphincter phase.
The old severing of the vital sphincter.
So if it's got like a limp sphincter still attached, but it's stacked, it can be considered a sandwich. But I think as soon as it's on its side, it becomes a bun.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I think by that logic, a hot dog isn't a sandwich.
Yeah, it's a bunned hot dog.
It's a bunned hot dog until you turn it sideways.
And theoretically, a hot dog is actually just is the meat.
Yeah.
If you're asking, is a hot dog? Well, it's actually just a hot dog.
It's just a hot dog. It's just
assume
a cylindrical meat chunk.
meat tube.
Yeah, it's the meat tube.
Whereas, obviously, I assume the question was catered towards.
Well, everyone just calls it a hot dog. Yeah.
Bunned hot dog.
A bunned hot dog.
I like bunned hot dog as opposed to hot dog in a bun. Hot dog in a bun is just too boring, isn't it? Whereas bunned hot dog almost makes it sound fancy. Can I have sauces upon my bunned hot dog? I think
next time I order a hot dog, I'm going to order it as a bunned hot dog.
Please make sure I'm there when you do it.
One bunned hot dog, please.
Make that 2 bunned hot dogs.
Jonathan stare us like, what?
So you just want a hot dog?
Bunned.
Bunned, though.
Don't be just handing me a hot dog, bro.
It's going to be hot. I really want it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think that's fair. Sorted.
Easy.
Easy mode.
Yeah.
We are legends of speech. And the night.
And crossboarding.
I know I would say of odd questions.
Oh.
I don't think anybody else can answer as many odd questions as we do.
I was going to say crossboarding.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Guess we're probably legends of that too.
But they're the only competitors.
Well,
I think we're the only crossboard
champions. We are both the losers and winners of Crossboard Champion.
Yeah.
Since 1999, when Crossboard became a thing.
When we accidentally glued 2 snowboards together and invented crossboarding.
Yep. We did have to do some rejigging of the boards just to get it to like kind of slide down a hill, but
it's dangerous.
Yeah. Also, crossboarding is you have to have 2 people.
Oh yeah, crossboarding. Oh, how do you work without 2 people?
Well, I'm assuming people thought you would just put 1 foot in each snowboard, so like big skis, but it isn't that.
No, it's nothing like
2
that.
people.
Yeah.
And you can do they do parallel crossboard, which actually isn't a cross.
No.
It's just 2 boards next to each other attached.
That is skiing. That's when the skiers try to get involved in crossboarding.
You still gonna have 2 competitors.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like tandem boarding.
Isn't that just snowboarding side by side then?
Yeah, essentially.
And really thin snowboards.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody bothered to actually put it down as a sport.
That's fair.
Crossboard.
Crossboard.
You know what the hardest part of crossboard is?
Crossboarding.
Well, obviously the crossboard. The dismount at the end.
Everything. The fact that you have to start on a moving crossboard is a bad idea. I think jumping off the moving crossboard is a bad idea.
Well, the dismount's really hard.
Yeah.
I think the jumping on, if you miss it, you just alright, you get 0 points, little poif.
Yeah.
But you don't get hurt. But if you manage to get on and go at the correct speed for crossboard, because if you go too slow, it doesn't work, does it? The motor doesn't start.
Well, it's because we added the fire rounding as well.
And if you go too slow,
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. But if you get enough speed, then at the end you still have to dismount.
Yeah.
And that's
dangerous.
dangerous.
That's how we lost the crossboard.
Oh.
If anyone finds our crossboard, can we have it back?
Oh, that meant we lost crossboard that year
Well, we did lose crossboard that year.
because we got no points.
Because we got
But
no
we were only
points. But we're the only competitors, so we simultaneously won and lost. But as our own ruling of crossboard, that means we lose.
Well, there was that one year that we just lost and no one won when we got disqualified.
Yeah, but that was still just us again. But we'd ruled it that we lost.
No, well, we disqualified ourselves.
Well, we disqualified
we couldn't even
ourselves,
stand the
yeah.
podium, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because we turned it without crossboards.
But that was also because we didn't build a podium, so we needed to find a loophole that meant we didn't need one.
Oh, man. It's almost at the end of this tournament. We've got nothing to stand on to give ourselves a medal. Oh, man, just bury the crossboard, pretend we don't know what we're doing. What? Jeff? He's over there. That guy's got a mustache. He can't be Jeff. Oh, good times.
The glory
Yeah, look
days
out
of
for crossboard this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Winter Olympics, as usual, as it is every year since 1999.
It's not televised.
Yeah, it's one of those sports we're trying to get them to
It's
do.
one of those sports we play it beside the stadium. And I hope we get some footage.
We do try to build our own snow mountains higher than the stadium, so the drones can pick us up.
Yeah.
They don't.
For some reason, they're not interested in broadcasting crossboard.
I think it's just because when you become crossboard champions every single year, but 1 year,
Yeah.
they just know you're going to win.
I think they are angry that, as per ruling, we are the only people allowed to compete in crossboard.
Yeah, I mean, we would let other people compete in it, but we want to win a few televised ones first.
Yeah, no, we want to be famous for our crossboarding skills before we open up the sport. That's the thing.
If we let somebody else do it and they become good at crossboarding...
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. We're the best
Could you imagine
at
we
crossboarding.
lose the first televised crossboarding competition?
I don't think I could show my face again.
Couldn't. So it's important that we win the first few. So once we'll try and highlight any footage we get of crossboarding.
Also, we can set a few records, can't we?
Oh yeah.
First crossboard champion.
Oh, we want to
winners.
go into it having the Olympic record, the world record, all the records set. Yeah.
And then we'll open it up to people who think they can be better than us.
Oh yeah.
Ah, great. Sweet. Well, I had a lovely cup of tea.
Yep.
Did you have a lovely cup of tea and a biscuit too? Until next time. Bye-bye.
Well.